Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and welcome back to my series where I talk about how I would refresh each expansion pack. And thank you for the great reception on the Get to Work episode. That was a really fun one to do, and I'm really glad that I gave it its own fleshed out video. So that is what I'm going to continue doing for the rest of the expansion packs. And we're going to be talking about the second expansion pack released for this game, Get Together. This is an interesting one for me to tackle because Get Together is, well, in my opinion, the worst expansion pack right now. Yet, at the same time, I find it harder to think of ideas that would make sense for it compared to Get to Work. Many of the initial ideas I came up with could also make a lot of sense in a hobbies-focused expansion pack. So, in the end, the ideas I came up with, I think, could go pretty well with the original vision of Get Together, with its focus on clubs and partying and dancing. So we'll start off with the main feature of the pack, which is clubs. I couldn't actually think of too much to add to this one because I don't think it's an entirely bad feature, it's just I don't think this was the feature to carry a whole expansion pack. But we do need more club icons, that's for sure. One of my must-have mods is actually a more club and holiday icons mod by Zerbu, which adds over 1,000 icons, so a lot more variety and inspiration for different sorts of clubs that you can make. Since these icons can potentially match with club rules that we get with a lot of packs after Get Together, I think that could help play to Get Together's strength really, where it integrates pretty well with other expansion packs and just packs in general. Another thing worth mentioning is that with the club requirements section for age groups, toddlers are not in there, most likely because Get Together was made long before toddlers came to The Sims 4. So I think that would be potentially really cute to have clubs of just toddlers. Also, when I took a look at the financial status rules, I thought, there could be a little bit more variety there. Like, how about under 1,000 simoleons, or over 50, or 100,000? I think that could add a bit more variety there. While I think they have done a pretty decent job of adding cross-pack related activities to Get Together's clubs, I think there could still be a few more. Some good examples would be taking care of the bees in the bee boxes from Seasons, or using that listening device from Strangerville, even lightsaber duels with Batu. I think that would actually give me a good reason to use that game pack. And playing ping pong with Discover University, and maybe even dumpster diving with Eco Lifestyle. Also, as a side note, the Go Sledding Club rule has a missing icon, so that'd be great if that could be added in. Also tying into clubs, I think some adjustment needs to be made to those texts that you can get from other Sims randomly, where they're like, oh, do you want to go out to a club meeting? Or even with other packs they've integrated into it, with Dine Outs, where you can be invited out to lunch, or with Realm of Magic, where you can be invited to the Magic Realm to go have a magic duel. So I don't like how you either have to accept right away and just go straight there, or just flat out reject them. What if I would like my Sim to take them up on the offer, but in a couple of hours, or say, well, I can't go right now, but how about this time tomorrow? So I think that could make it a lot better, and instead of them being super annoying, as I've seen a lot of Simmers talk about, they could actually be more fun like they were probably intended to be in the first place. One common complaint that I've seen with The Sims 4 in general is that it's not spontaneous enough. It's too predictable, yet when we have this feature that is spontaneous, then it's not really well liked because of how it's executed. But if it was updated so that we had more options, then I think the public perception on this would turn around. Now let's move on to more activities that I would like to see in Get Together. Even though we did get some fun ones already, I think there could have been more, especially for an expansion pack. We did get the dancing skill, but it's only 5 levels and it's very focused on club dancing. So I think we should use this opportunity of a refresh to just expand it beyond that. Like, how about slow dancing? The game's been out for 7 years and we still don't have slow dancing. And there's probably a couple of other refresh videos that I'll bring up slow dancing specifically, since this is not the only expansion pack that it could go well with. But I'd like to see couple dancing that isn't just the slow variety, but also some faster paced looking moves, kind of like this footage in The Sims 2. I think that would be really fun. In The Sims 4, technically yes, you can have Sims dance together, but it's either through the dance battles or just clicking on the stereo to dance with another Sim, and they still dance fairly separately, and I don't think it really looks all that interesting. Maybe it could still look like this if both Sims have pretty low dancing skill, but then at around level 3 it could get a bit more interesting, but then once you get to level 6 and above, then it gets way more interesting and expressive. But there is one more type of dancing I would like to suggest, and that is ballet. I loved using the ballet bar in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, so I would love to have this in The Sims 4. Admittedly, this particular one is one of the ideas that I feel crosses into, well, this could work in a hobbies-focused expansion, but I still thought I would suggest this as sort of like a backup to just expand the dancing skill even more. It also helps that ballet can be done by kids, just like you can see in the Sims 2 footage here, so it would help expand the pack more beyond the more adult-focused gameplay, since there was some stuff already that kids can also partake in, such as Don't Wake the Llama and the arcade machine, which actually segues pretty well into another thing I'd like to see added, because as fun as that big arcade cabinet is, I'd love to see the more classic, smaller single-player one to add more variety to have like a full-on arcade place in The Sims 4. And while we're at it, why not also bring back the pinball machine? I really missed that from the older Sims games. That was one I really enjoyed using, especially in The Sims 1. Going back to Don't Wake the Llama, I do like how well it integrates with the base game card table and Sabak from Batu, so you can easily just swap them out whenever you want to, but I'd like to see a couple more games added onto there. Like, how about parodies of Scrabble or Monopoly? I think that would go really well for organizing a sort of like family game night. Maybe there could even be a family game night event where if you do well enough, then all your family members will gain a positive sentiment towards each other, where they're just reminiscing about how they had a nice wholesome family game night. Or maybe there could be a negative one if it goes really terribly. I think pool tables also would be a great fit for Get Together, though this is another thing that could also fit into other packs, and potentially a hobbies pack if they ever make one. But yep, I'm gonna put that in here because pool table is such a classic Sims object in my opinion. I don't like that it's not included in the base game anymore, but if they are going to restrict this to packs now, then I think Get Together would make sense as one of those options. One last major addition that I think Get Together needs in terms of activities and gameplay is open water swimming in Windenburg, because Get Together came out long before Island Living did, so we definitely need open water swimming in a lot of the older worlds. I did a whole video dedicated to that, but one area I do want to bring up is Crumbling Isle, which you're seeing on screen right now, because it's surrounded by water. Just how cool would it be if Sims could just swim around just outside of their houses as an added benefit? I think that would be really great. As for Create a Sim, there's not really too much that I have here, but there's one really major talking point that I see brought up on Sims Twitter every few months, and that is Candy Bear's hair. Because arguably, it looks way better on the box art than it does in-game. So I don't think they should get rid of the one that we have in-game, but also add the version that is on the box art to the expansion pack, because yes, I do think that hair does look better. Also, it would be a nice bonus to have all the hairstyles age converted for children and toddlers, especially since toddlers weren't around when Get Together first came out, and they are starting to age convert hairs a lot more often now than they did before. Now there's a few things I would like to talk about that would go in a free update alongside a Get Together refresh. The first thing being a pool party event. because we did get the pool venue type alongside Get Together as a free update, but strangely enough, we still don't have pool parties as an official event type. I find that very weird. And we should also get the classic diving board back. Sure, the diving platform in Get Together is fun, but I still miss having that shorter diving board as well that we're used to seeing in all the Sims games. The free update that came out alongside Get Together, I think, was also a great opportunity to bring back a romantic attraction system like what we had in The Sims 2, where you could choose your turn-ons and your turn-off. The expansion pack is literally called Get Together, and romantic attraction would have made sense as ways for your Sims to feel compelled to get together. One thing that the update before Get Together did introduce was the ability to have Sims go here together. But I don't like how Sims don't really make much of an effort to actually walk somewhere together. It's more just like going to the same place but finding your own way separately. So I would love to have Sims actually walk beside each other if possible, if it's not like too narrow a path that they're going down. So it could even be like that one part in the Get Together announce trailer where there's those Sims just walking just together and they're in the same club. Like that would, I feel, even make club gatherings feel a bit more alive if you have those. So that's it for all my ideas for a Get Together refresh. Overall, I feel like this one ended up being a bit more realistic than my Get to Work one. But if they did manage to incorporate at least most of these ideas, I think Get Together would move pretty high up my rankings. There's just a lot more that could be done here to flesh out Get Together as a more activity-based pack, since most of the time we only get like a couple of those per expansion pack, if even that, so I think it would be nice to have a lot more activities for our Sims to do, and just a lot more ways to have fun. But feel free to let me know in the comment section below what you would like to see added to Get Together, and be sure to subscribe if you would like to keep up with my latest gaming content, including live simulations and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!
We wrote this ditty all about our city to bid you welcome, hello.
Hello. She's full of history and steeped in mystery, just round the corner, you know.
Every sunset inspires nights at bonfires. Her nightlife is second to none.
So come to Windenburg, dance in Windenburg, laugh in Windenburg, prance in Windenburg. She's full of life and break, skinny, different.